This is Where's the Money, episode number 12, Instagram for video.
You ask me, where's the money? Where's the money? I mean, I don't know where the money is. I've never been good with figures, you know that. I don't know anything about math. It was never my good subject. I don't know where the money is.
Doug Soltis, welcome, buddy. Episode number 12. We finally got it under our belt. Here we go. We're talking about Instagram for video. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. There's a gold rush, I say. A gold rush.
It's a gold rush. Yeah, I'm going to do something that is going to be so meta. I am pulling up my iPad, running Social Cam, looking at the Vidi Social Cam app icons on my iPhone. This is what we're talking about right there. Those two guys are right there. And now I can pan out. You can see what this looks like. And then the 70s filter. Here we go. Bringing us back now to reality. That's what we're talking about. That is exactly what we're talking about, aren't we? Those two applications, yes. or this gold rush that is happening as a result of Instagram. Everybody used to be the angry birds of. I want that back because I'm so tired of the Instagram of. But that's where we are right now. So we are going to talk about the Instagram for video. And I think that there are really only two competitors right now, to me.
Well, seeing as this is a market that has existed for all of, seriously existed for all of a month, considering, If a photo company can be worth $1 billion, moving photos has to be worth 24 times that per second.
It is. You know what? I think this is a tough battle because everybody is vying for this, and you know, even my main man Gary Vaynerchuk has talked about this being, he's called it. For whatever it's worth, I'm going to play a little video here. It's about a minute, and I'm not going to count this towards the show, but it's about a minute, and it talks about his prediction for one of these companies. Both of these companies, in fact. Let me roll it here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll come back on the flip.
So I've gotten a lot of hoopla and excitement and street cred for my Instagram, Facebook prediction, and I figured why not? It tastes so good, let's do it again, so I'm going to. I'm gonna make a bold, but not so bold prediction that Vidi or Social Cam, the iPhone apps that are the video Instagrams, will sell to YouTube, or a company desperately trying to disrupt YouTube. Companies that are trying to disrupt YouTube, pay attention. Here's what's going on. Mobile is the future, and the apps that are exploding on mobile are huge threats to the desktop and laptop and web versions of those. Facebook let Instagram win in the pictures game, and I don't know how it's happening, but it makes a lot of sense. The momentum of the app culture that I've talked about a lot is creating a situation where both Vidi and Social Cam are exploding right now and making it a very important demo, that 14 to 25-year-old demo, kind of forget about YouTube in the mobile version. This is huge high risk for Google and for YouTube, that's who owns YouTube, and I fundamentally believe that they will make a play to buy one of these platforms, much like we saw Facebook do with Instagram. The stakes are extremely high, and the companies that are not showing the nimbleness to get into the mobile world and be the mobile version of their desktop version will be eliminated and/or will have to purchase. Vidi or Social Cam goes to YouTube.
Basically saying is Vidi or Social Cam ends up inside of YouTube because they don't get mobile. And, and that's a really good place to start here. There has been lots of conversation around these two companies since Instagram was bought. I mean, Social Cam, I interviewed the CEO of Social Cam over a year ago on Untether.tv. It's like, what does that make me? Like a genius?
Dinosaur years in mobile.
Oh, man. But he had just launched it. He's the ex-founder. Dave Siebel is the ex-founder or the founder of Justin TV. And he spun out, realized that mobile was such a big thing, and he took it on. So where do we stand right now? Here, let's talk about this, because Vidi and Social Cam have both gone through this insane growth when it comes to daily average users, monthly average users. I'm going to pull this up in a second on the screen, but what we're talking about here is such an incredible number of users, and the growth and the explosion has happened like almost instantaneously. You're going to see this graph here. Doug, you don't get to see it. This is appdata.com. What we're talking about here is the average daily user for Vidi is 880,000 daily users, 36.8 million daily users. Social Cam smokes that, 4.3 million daily average users and 50.7 mobile or monthly average users. But you can see that all of a sudden the growth went off the charts. Just went from basically nothing, flatlined, to through the roof. And then as of, I think this was around May 14th, you'll see that right there on the screen. Social Cam, daily average use went from 8 million users down to 4 million users. So I don't know what all of this means, but that growth is insane.
Well, there's a reason for that, because the reason why the growth is so insane is because there's a gold rush. And when you have a gold rush, people will do whatever they can to get their hands on the gold. So if people will probably, we'll put this in the post to the video, but seeing the controversy of the fact that the Social Cam, when you have it turned on, it's not only is it auto sharing anything that you read, basically frictionless Facebook sharing, which is a huge discovery opportunity. The videos that you're watching through YouTube, they're saying are Social Cam videos, or at least were until they released a hotfix. So seeing the average user drop after they released that fix was also fixed when you turned off frictionless sharing. The fact that the app would turn it back on, I think, has a big result in that. And beyond the bugs and the technical issues, because I could definitely see it being an API thing where they say, oh, we consider this to be Social Cam use, even though it's like a video being watched through Social Cam, not a Social Cam video, splitting it out finer. The fact that in this day and age we have a default setting without telling anyone when you first load up the app that what they're going to be doing is basically sharing any video that you watch as a growth mechanism, to be that first horse to be bought by YouTube or whomever is concerning, right? Because is it real legitimate growth? Like Instagram, for whatever anyone thought about it, definitely earned the cachet that it had with users, because it did something very well and it grew quickly over a short period of time, but with very, very strong support. Gaming the system to get numbers, I don't like it.
Oh, there was that process, almost a similar process that they did for the in the iStore or in the App Store for games, right? Where you would get badges or gold or money or something the equivalent of currency for one game by going to the App Store, downloading and installing the other game. You get coins and those things. It was a way to create a virality around your games, and it was gaming the system. And then Apple just shut that down. And it seems like that's what Facebook's done with this. But the key is that you have to download the app to use it, and then if anybody wants to watch any of your videos, they also have to download the app and to watch it. And I think that, it's a social network. It's the same thing. If you want somebody to you want to share something on Facebook, they have to have a Facebook account. So, there is gaming the system, and there's gaming the system. Maybe now we've averaged out at the appropriate number for something like Social Cam and Vidi, because they both do it. They both had that part of the system, but I think Social Cam was a little bit more involved in trying to boost their numbers, and for a good reason. I think they have 42 million users versus 27 million for Vidi. The real question, though, here, Doug, after all of this, is that Instagram had 30 million users. Is it fair to compare Instagram and Vidi or Social Cam? And if so, how? Instagram didn't figure out the revenue model. Can Social Cam and can Vidi figure this out as well? Is there a revenue model?
Well, let's step back. Are they even trying to figure out a revenue model, or are they trying to trying to fill a gap in the ecosystem to be bought? Like, what are they looking to do? And I think, you can, the intentions of the people building the app are demonstrated in the app. So if this is just purely a play to own that space, get as big as possible and be acquired, that's something. But it's a hollow shell. It's a hollow building, right? When you look at, like, is the growth based upon actual use, actual interest? Are people looking at these video apps right now because there's been so much written about them? They're being pushed in the app stores, and people are like, oh, this is the next new thing. Or are we going to have a draw something situation where everyone tries it for a little while and then it drops off once they realize it's not something that's going to be a part of their daily life? Like, sharing photos and filtered photos is legitimately a part of people's lives right now. They want to connect in that way. Is video, video is obviously popular in social, but is it as popular and as instant and as exchangeable as just photos? Or is it a situation where I withdraw something, you're going to see a huge drop off?
Well, I mean, sharing videos is not as natural as sharing a photo. I'll give you that. And there is the belief that video is the next piece here. And you know, the difference between these two companies. Actually, if you bring in color to this conversation as well, remember color? That color? I don't even know how to describe it. The $41 million investment that has pivoted twice now. Well, so you've got three different pieces here. You've got Vidi offering 15-second snippets of life, right? So I don't know what happens in 15 seconds, but if you ever stopped, and we could do it right now, you can demonstrate what you can do in 15 seconds. You could probably turn this all off and go on with your merry day, so we won't stop talking. Now you've got Social Cam that allows unlimited length of video. And then you've got Color, which is going to get into broadcasting, live broadcasting in short snippets. So you've got three different distinct businesses there. One is small, significant chunks of life. The other one is as long as you want. And then the other one is live. So, you know, I think that there is a need there. But we've been talking about video like this for so long that, you know, I think that their monetization strategy is exactly what Instagram's was in the end, which is to get bought. That is ultimately, they're looking around and they're looking for holes in some of the established companies like YouTube and the mobile experience that is YouTube, and even some of the broadcasters, I would say, feet on the street broadcasters like news stations like CNN or Fox. These guys might look at something like Color and say, okay, we're gonna buy you. Or YouTube, sure, could buy one of these guys, but
okay. So then, if there's no business model, if this is purely being a feature of someone else's product, which fine, that's table stakes. Then which is the right application to do that? Because I don't think we can look at download numbers, because right now we exist like in a mobile world where there's so many mobile users and it's so easy to download an app, and people have a general understanding of app awareness that if something hits the top 10, you're going to have millions upon millions of downloads. It's not an indication of entrenched use anymore in a way that it was when, you know, Twitter or Facebook or Foursquare hit a legitimate milestone, because those were earned very early stages. It's people are downloading apps, you know, like they're throwing away pennies or something.
Yep.
If you're Canadian. So which one of those video apps is the right one to service a need? Obviously, I would think that Social Cam would be much more in line with YouTube, but I don't see why Google just can't do this themselves.
Well, I mean, why? This is my argument about Instagram. You got to tell me that a company that the size of Facebook, with the user base of Facebook and 500+ million mobile users, couldn't build an Instagram. I mean, it's the same question, right? We argued about that back in the day. I said that, you know, it's idiotic that they bought them. I think that we all agree that the price is too high, but it's idiotic that they bought them, because if they can't innovate on a stupid low-level meandering scale like Instagram, it's not a smart application, right? It's just not. Then why? They're not worth $1 billion, and I don't think any of these companies are worth that. So it's the same question. Why can't YouTube build this? I don't know. They should be able to.
Well, the difference between Instagram and Social Cam and who can build what is more based upon photos and pictures are a very set experience. People get them. They get the idea of sharing one photo to replicate. And Instagram came and made that a very enjoyable, beautiful experience. The video experience hasn't been, for mobile anyways, and social sharing, hasn't been established. It's more varied. And when it comes, like, when you're recording something, it's much easier than snapping one instance of something. So it's not so much like Instagram created a really interesting scenario for sharing photos. Whereas right now, because there is no set video experience, whether it's 15 seconds or full videos, you're really just recording. So Google replicating what they're doing with YouTube on mobile is much easier to do, and they probably have a better technical backing behind it than Instagram creating a very specific experience that was used by a lot of people that Facebook wanted to own.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, video is not as natural as photos. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is that most people do not feel comfortable taking videos of themselves. And most people's videos, you know, when you get past 15 seconds, you know, nobody watches them anyway. So it's a different kind of experience. And I'll give you that. And YouTube really has an understanding of that, because, you know, the stats of uploads for YouTube are staggering. And through their mobile app or not, it's staggering. So, you know, I wonder, do they look at this and think, you know, the price tag for these companies is going to be too high. I think $1 for a lot of these companies right now without a proven model is too high. So where do these guys go? If Facebook or if YouTube doesn't buy one of these companies and they decide to go and buy, how do they turn this into revenue? I still think that, you know what, maybe they should go after the CNN or the broadcast news types of guys and make sure that this is their go-to app for sharing all of breaking news, right? Because CNN...
So there's... Yeah, they're Eyewitness or CNN.
Why not?
Yeah. It's so yeah. Who's trying to be the media company here? Is this a tool? Is it a media network? Is it powering what Google wants to be a social ad network? Is it just a component of Google Plus? But I think it's going to be something. It's really interesting because. You know, Instagram really started as a one phone experience thing, and this is more like video is even more varied than the photo experience between cameras on like Android and iPhone devices. So it's like almost in its setup and intent going to be something that's a little bit more broadcast. So maybe it is like a CNN situation, because I definitely could see CNN not wanting to try to build this themselves, but I also see them not probably being willing to spend as much as Google.
Well, maybe that's where their revenue comes in for a company like Socialgram, which has unlimited streaming, or even Color, which is live streaming, which is a big challenge. I would say that a big challenge is to live stream over 3G or any kind of network and make sure that the quality of the audio and the video is acceptable to something. But our expectations have come down because of these devices about the quality of live footage. But I think maybe that's where the revenue model lies if they don't get bought, which is basically buying lottery tickets for your business model. But if you don't get bought, then maybe you do take this technology and you license the back end. It becomes a platform for live coverage or for feet on the street coverage of and then getting that into the news reels and news systems, because that's the challenge. You take a video and then you upload this 30 meg file. Maybe this is something that those guys can license, and I think that there's an opportunity there. It's certainly not
like using with like with Flipboard or something like that, even at that level where you're just discovering your friends' tweets and things like that. You're discovering the latest CNN video.
Like it becomes like this is where you go to find the latest breaking news, and then digital first, especially in the news, means listen, the story doesn't just wait till the end of the day to get broadcast. It breaks throughout the day, and I think that that's what you can do. You can do a breaking story right away with somebody with social cam or with color or with video. And then you, as the story progresses, you continuously build that story through video, and then you can summarize it at the end of the day with a written article or cut it up for the 6 o'clock news, whatever you want to do. Maybe that's an opportunity for these guys. But whatever it is, the biggest opportunity is to get acquired. These guys, you know what? I like Social Cam. I think it's a cool tool. I really like the CEO. The challenge for me is that this is not worth $1 billion. And if some idiot buys it for $1 billion, I will quit. Actually, no, I won't.
Well, you'll just find the next thing after video and immediately make that 3D or holograms. But no, so like the funny thing about this is, or the we're not covering, is that Social Cam as an app that I've used is actually really good. It's pretty seamless and pretty easy to use. Their methodology for growth I have something against, and their ultimate value is questionable. But you were talking about uploading video and these big file sizes and issues. I would say that the final statement on this is that if anybody buys one of these companies now, they are panicking and hoping to strike gold immediately, because I don't think this will not hash out until there are more phones that can record video to the level of an iPhone camera. Like the iPhone 4S camera will have to be baseline recording for the majority of smartphones, and LTE will have to be the baseline for smartphones. Because once we get to LTE, then it's faster than current Wi-Fi, and the quality of the video and the ease of uploading and receiving the video will be eliminated. And the first companies here, much like Instagram wasn't the first company to do interesting photo things, will probably not be the winner.
I don't think that they will be the winner, but this is it's fun. I was just showing You know, I was pulling it up. Is that it's a fun app, and I love the fact that we're moving into the video world because that's where we sit. Video is such a powerful tool, and it is already in use massively. So I think that this is just an extension, a natural extension for some of these companies. But the real question is, what do you think out there? Do you think that this is actually a revenue run? Do you think that we should stop calling this the Instagram, the Instagram of video, because it's really not. They're two distinct, different. Well. They're different. They're just different. But what do you think out there? Do you think that this is something that there is a revenue model behind here? Do you think that they charge? Do you think that they host? Do you think that they become a cloud service provider? Do you think that they become the platform for news networks? Do you think that they just end up, one of them goes to YouTube like Gary Vaynerchuk says, and the other one just what? Disappears? What do you think?
Yeah, I will say that the one that wins this, the one that gets the $1 billion prize, will not be an application or a service that can be described as the Instagram for video. It'll be something that defines itself.
Yeah, well said, Doug. We're going to leave it at that. I'll let Doug have the last word on this. So Instagram for video, yay or nay? Let us know what you think. Do you think that this is something? Do you use these tools? Bring it. Do you think that they can make some money? Who do you think is going to buy them? Do you think that they're going to buy it? Do you think that numbers matter? Well, what do you think? This has been another episode of Where's the Money? Episode number 12. We'll be back for number 13 next time, where I'm sure we will entertain you even more than we have today.
Let's try harder. Bye, Mrs. Woodbridge.
Later, everybody. Thanks for watching.